So, perhaps the most important thing for a superhero, without this, they don't seem necessarily so super and so heroic, is that they have people to save, right? So, how do they know that there's someone in need? How do they find someone in need? So, we're going to discuss a couple options. The first is many times the easiest thing is if you have an arch villain, because then the arch villain finds you, right? The arch villain finds the superhero. That's what we learn by the arch villain, the arch nemesis of the Jewish people is Amalek. And unfortunately, this is what it says, that anyone that hates with a consummate hatred the Jewish people has this trait of Amalek, this hater, just with a consummate hatred of the Jewish people. And unfortunately, as we know very well, that they find us, they find the Jewish people, and you don't need to, unfortunately, look too long and hard to find these people. But what about, let's say, the typical thing in a comic book or a movie, in the world of fiction, where we have someone that's in need? How does the superhero know how to help them, know where to find them? So on the one hand, we said of of Abraham, that because he wanted so much to have visitors to promote the name of God in this world. So even though he was healing from his circumcision, so God sent him three angels to be dressed as visitors, in disguise as visitors. Or like we said of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, that thousands of people were sent to the Lubavitcher Rebbe, and the Rebbe blessed them. And basically what that means is to remind them of God's continual blessings. So the tzaddik, the righteous soul, is a reminder of God, like we said of Moses. He's a placeholder for God. He reminds us, he connects us to the infinite. So that's one option, is that we find that our steps are directed by God. We don't know why we're going to a certain place. Could be just that we're aimlessly walking around, and then we find ourselves entering some synagogue or some place, and God is trying to teach us something. God is trying to teach us a lesson. So that's one option. But typically when we think of these heroes, is that we, maybe someone is in dire straits and they can't come to us. So how do we help them? How do we find them? So there's a very interesting story, a very compelling story, of that when David was running for his life from King Saul. This is a very deep, very intricate story with a lot of details. I encourage you to read about it. But in one of these episodes where David was running for his life, so he runs into a cave. And inside with his men, he runs into this cave. And then soon after, King Saul and his men come looking for David. But they see that there is a spider web, that a spider has already made a web at the entrance of this cave. And they said, it can't be that there's anyone here. There's already a spider web here. So we're going to go on our way. And so as a result, David's life was saved. I mean, he could have defended himself, but out of respect for Saul was still the king, and he still wanted to afford him respect. So this averted any type of direct conflict at that time between King Saul and David, the future destined king of Israel. That's why Saul was jealous, right? Because he knew that David would be the replacement to him. Okay, so usually a spider is someone that traps their prey, right? In nature, this is what it is. You have some type of an insect, and the spider traps it in its web, and then goes and feeds off of it, nourishes from it. So that doesn't seem good, right? If we're the insects, that doesn't seem like the spider is helping us. But what does it mean to trap someone in our net? Because this is what saved David. What does it mean to have a sense of the spider? Right? They call it a spider sense. What does it mean to have a sense? So the tzaddik, the righteous person, when they see a person, whether the person however the person comes to them, it's the person is coming into their place, into their space. That's like their web. They're coming into their space, to their domain. And the tzaddik has to see how to not to take from this person, but how to give to them, how to help this person, how to save this person. That's what we learn from the story of David and King Saul, is that the spider is usually seen as someone who's taking, but here the spider was giving, right? He's giving this life-saving opportunity. He was a lifesaver to King David and his men, to David and his men. So too, this is the ability of a true superhero, of a true tzaddik, a true righteous individual, is that they know how to gather people together. Like, we want to dress up as a superhero. We want to dress up in a costume. What's the next thing that we want to do? We want to all come together, right? We want to cosplay. We want to get together in some place and show everyone the costume that I'm wearing or that I made, right? And the other people want to show me and everyone else the costume that I dressed up as. And this is what a king of Israel does. He gathers together the people. It says that Ein Melech below Am, that you don't have a king without a nation. And this is the same with God. For God to be crowned as king over the world, you need a people. You need a people to acknowledge and serve him. First the Jewish people, and then throughout the spreads and throughout the entire world. Like we said, the reason why superheroes are so beloved by everyone is because everyone can reach this level of Abraham, as we said. This revealing the super potential within us. This applies to everyone in the world, every good person in the world. So this idea of a king is one that draws everyone close and is able, like we said, of a superhero. Superhero needs to have people to save, needs to have people to help. And this is the talent of a king. A king is a person that knows how to draw thousands of people together. And what does the king do? He teaches Torah. He teaches the words of the Bible. But we also see of King David that he was the sweet singer of Israel. He was also a musician and a poet. So this is also an important thing, that if we have, let's say, a really expensive musical instrument like a Stradivarius, but if we don't play it, it becomes closed to the sound. So we have to always learn the Bible and play with it and have fun with it and enjoy it. And this is also what the king teaches us, that you have to wear it wherever you go. One of the commandments is that a king of Israel needs to physically wear a Torah scroll, a Bible scroll with him. So, as we said, what is a superhero? So it's all too easy to just depict arch villains, because the arch villains search out the heroes. But what of just the average person in need? How does a superhero find the average person in need? So they have this sense for creating a space, a community, and this is seen most in Israel, most in Jerusalem, and most at when we had the Holy Temple. Because this is the ingathering, the part when we are all walking, making our pilgrimage. We have the pilgrimage festivals. And it says after the sabbatical year, after Sukkot, the king would gather men, women, and children and he would speak words of the Bible, words of Torah. It was the great ingathering called the Hakel. This is the idea of the king. This is the idea of perhaps the most important thing of a superhero, to be able to gather thousands of people together and connect them to the infinite through the study of the Bible.